Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Riot and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Riot's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves your left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we use here at school is a gentle tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Riot's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your one-on-one follow-up training session tomorrow. Now, Riot is sitting very nicely and quietly at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is nothing more than proper leash walking, and the command is Riot heel.
Riot heel.
Now, at this point, Riot has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when walking. Now, that might look like an easy command, but this is one of the behaviors that our owners complain about the very most, is that they can't walk their dog properly. He drags them down the street. So when heeling, his shoulders should remain even with your left leg, and they should not pass your left leg. He should stay right with you, and each time that you stop your feet, he has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So when you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, he should be sitting nicely like a gentleman, not jumping on the person that you're talking to, but more focused on you. And if you see him looking up at Rich, you can see what I'm talking about, that eye contact. Now, the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word firm command, stay. Your long sit stay you can practice indoors as well as outdoors, and I strongly recommend it. It helps to develop self-control and maturity. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds, and you're going to slowly work up over the next month to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction, ending up back where they started. And when Rich gets back to his shoulders, he stops, and Riot expects to get another command, and Rich tells him to heel again. So everything is about communicating with your dog verbally. You're only going to use your left arm for a correction if he's doing something that he's not supposed to be doing. Nice automatic sit, another sit stay. Rich backs up to the end of his leash and turns to face the dog and makes him hold it. And believe me, there are leaves falling here like rain, and they're siding a house next door, so we have distractions. This time, instead of returning back to him, Rich is going to use his name, and he's going to call him, and this is the recall. It's Riot, come. He comes right in, and he sits and not jump on you. And this is one of the things that boxers are famous for, and how they got the name, because they use their front feet like a boxer, and they always want to put their feet on you. So this is discouraging him from jumping, and he only gets praised if he comes and sits. And working along with your video is the best way to get control over the dog. So study your video, practice along with it. Rich is going to give you private instruction tomorrow, but you're going to need this video to practice with. Rich leaves him again in a sit stay. He's going to use his name. He's going to call him in again to demonstrate the recall again. Riot, come. He comes right in. He sits very nicely facing Rich's knees, and then he says Riot heel, and Riot returns back to where they started, sitting at Rich's left. And he gets a little loving for praise. With these boxer puppies, you can't amp them up too much. You don't want to get him all amped up in between each exercise. Now, the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your down commands. The first one is the down from a heel position. So you always have your dog seated before you attempt to put him into a down. Left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the firm command to down and stay. Now your long down stay is best practiced right in your living room. Dogs do great with that. There's no distraction, there's no leaves, there's no squirrels. And you can practice your long down stay starting out at 1 minute and working slowly up to 5 minutes. When Rich returns back, he returns exactly as he did on the sit stay, returning all the way back to Riot's shoulders, and then he gives him another command. He heels him out of that command, and you see Riot's paying attention, waiting to get that next command. Rich is talking to him during the healing, so Riot knows he's doing a good job. He's telling him, good boy. Down. Left open palm, straight down toward the ground. The one-word command to down and stay. You walk out to the end of your leash and you turn to face him. And your goal going forward is going to be to eventually, not within the first month, drop the leash and back further away. And ultimately, you're going to be able to leave the room and come back, and he's still going to be there. This time, Rich calls him out of that down. He comes right in and sits, and then he goes back to heel position. Very nicely done, Riot. Good job. Now, the last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is not Riot's favorite, and that is the down from a distance. It is a little bit harder command because you're not standing right next to the dog. Rich is going to demonstrate this down from a distance for us. And again, you always have him seated first. Rich is going to leave him in a sit stay. He's going to turn to face him. Probably isn't going to go too far for the sake of the video. He's going to use his right hand to give the command. Good job. Drops him into a down and then backs away. Now, we have demonstrated for you all of Riot's formal on-leash obedience commands that he knows very well up till now. Rich will go over, we have written instructions for you. He will answer any questions that you have during your follow-up training session. We've enjoyed Riot. He's a great guy, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company. We will see you tomorrow.